Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Redmond and Beyond, where we talk about all things great about Redmond and why we love living, working, and playing here. And I'm very excited because while we love to live, work, and play in Redmond, we also like to explore. And I have Kelly Gentry of Eos Travel with me today, and she runs a curated travel business. And I have gotten to know Kelly over the years. She lives up near me and also have used her professionally, and I love what she does. And I thought that I wanted to share this information with you guys and have Kelly talk a little bit more about what she does. So welcome, Kelly.
Hi, Kate. Thank you. Happy to
Hi.
be here. Hi.
So starting right off, because you know I love this story, you need to talk a little bit about how you got into the travel business because your background is so interesting, which I love.
Absolutely. So, yes. Hi. Thanks again for having me on. So, my love of travel started, really when I was a young girl growing up, my family traveled a lot. I decided to take that travel passion and turn it into a career. So, my very first career out of college, I was an airline pilot. So, as I was getting my degree at the University of Washington, I was also flying. Once I graduated, then I became a flight instructor. So, teaching people how to fly out of Boeing Field. And then finally got enough hours and started flying for the airlines. So I flew for the airlines for a while. When I was flying, I did meet my husband. He's not a pilot, but we met through mutual friends in Seattle. I was based out of Seattle. And we decided to start a family. So that's when I stopped flying. I still worked in aviation for about 14 years as a customer service representative, quality engineer, supplier development engineer, and then most recently in the tech space in supply chain. And then at the beginning of this year, I decided I wanted to get back to that passion of travel. So now I am a full-time travel agent based here in the beautiful Pacific Northwest.
That is awesome. And I
Yeah.
know I always love just, following you on social media and seeing all the fantastic places you go. I know I love travel too, as you know.
Yeah.
And so that is always really fun for me. But I think one of the things that I love is that you offer something that I think is slightly different, this idea of more curated travel. Can you talk a little bit about that and what that means and why people in Redmond should use a service like yours?
Absolutely. Yeah. So the kind of travel that I offer is very unique to the individual, to the families, whoever I'm planning for. So for example, I have a family of 9 leaving for Thailand a week from today. So that's going to look different than the family of 2 that I actually have in Thailand right now. So what I like to do, I really like to get to know my clients as I've gotten to know you better on the 2 trips I've done for you. And then just, as I get to know my clients, as I build like their second, third, fourth trips, then I start to really know like what are their travel preferences? What do they like to do? What kind of places do they like to stay? And I always equate it to like your dentist, your doctor, your hairdresser. You want to build a long-term relationship with somebody who really gets to know you. And that's what I think you need to look for in a travel agent. So that's my philosophy behind building these trips for my clients. Like you mentioned, the curated, bespoke, unique to the individual's trips.
Yeah, and I think, when you talked about building relationships, it's one of the things that I love about real estate. And even though I don't get to work with my clients as often as you do, but just, staying
Yeah.
in touch with them and getting to know them, is really important. That connection that we build with people, which was part of the reason that I wanted to do this community website because I thought it would be a great way to build community. So thank you so much for being a part of that. Okay,
Absolutely.
so let's talk fun stuff. Tell me,
Okay.
I want to know about like the funnest trip you've either gone on or planned for somebody. What is the one that you were like, oh, that was just it?
Sure. Yeah. So for my own personal travels, one of my most fun trips, and this was with my family, was to Greece. and this was last year. We ended up staying on 3 different islands. Of course, we went to Athens, so we got country. And then as far as planning trips, like I mentioned, Thailand, I've also been to Thailand, as I know you have, and really enjoyed traveling around there, Southeast Asia. But then also like local trips. When I was planning your Walla Walla trip, I had the best time doing research. As much as I was researching for you, I was also learning stuff myself. I learned stuff about Walla Walla that I didn't know. And I had been to Walla Walla before, and I didn't know any of these things. So I get as much out of planning the trips as the clients do when they're vacationing on the trips.
Right. I totally get that because I think, one of the great things about travel is that, and I love that your cat is
Yeah.
doing this back and forth
Yeah. She
and
might come
saying,
in the
okay,
photo.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
up, there we go. There she's
Yeah.
saying hello.
Hmm.
Just that, we think we know places or we think we know what is interesting and exciting about places. But then when we dig into it, we find out that there is so much that we, don't know about places. And that was one of the things about Walla Walla. I thought it would be all about wine and that kind of stuff. And we found so much history and so many interesting places to just wander and explore through. So that was a really great little getaway. So we really thank you for that.
Oh,
Now,
absolutely.
okay, so one of my questions, we both have school age kids. That's kind of how we got to know each other. Um, we've got some, as you were talking about, that you've got people going to Thailand, which I think is fantastic. But give me a couple of other trips that you think or other places that you think are really fun for families to go, whether it's at the holidays or spring break or anytime.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a great question. I think, again, going back to Thailand, Thailand is one of the friendliest places on earth, very easy to travel. The people are very friendly. It's a very friendly, family-friendly country. So I love sending clients to Thailand. Right now, I'm also planning a trip to Portugal for a family, and this is also a rather large family that's going. It's two combined families, and there's just so much to see and do there. Again, family friendly country, easy to get around, easy to communicate. And then locally, like we mentioned, there's Walla Walla. There's so much in our own backyard here in the Pacific Northwest. But then I also really like traveling to DC for the historical, get to know more about this country that we're living in. And then also down south to LA. LA is such a great family friendly, you have the beaches, you have the amusement parks. There's just a ton to do down there. So
Awesome. That sounds great. Absolutely. And you talk about Thailand and I wouldn't think family friendly when I would think Thailand, but I was much younger when I went to Thailand and got to do some great exploring there and I can totally see it because it is a really really friendly place to be. So I think
mhm.
that is really neat and I can speak from personal experience as you're planning a trip for us to Peru. And we're so excited about all the different things that we're going to be able to see and do while we're there. And it's so much easier to get to than I thought. And,
Absolutely.
I think
Yeah.
that's another thing that somebody like you who has experience in this business can really bring to the table is that, there are places that are in our backyards that are really awesome to go to. So, yeah. And
Yeah.
what kind of experiences? I know like you're planning a cooking experience for us when we go to Peru. What other kinds of experiences can people maybe sign up for that are a little out of the ordinary rather than their normal run of the mill, city tour of whatever town they happen to be in?
Sure, yeah. Well, like you mentioned, cooking class, that is, I'd say one of the most popular type of excursions for people when they're traveling. So for example, Thailand, people love to take Thai cooking classes there. You in Peru, learning about Peruvian food. And then like the Portugal trip, they're going to be taking a cooking class. But then it's really also, there's a lot of country specific excursions. So, for example, the family that leaves for Thailand a week from today, they really wanted to go visit an elephant sanctuary. So the majority of those are in northern Thailand, up kind of, they call it the mountainous region. Um, but yeah, so they're going to spend the day, basically feeding, bathing, and just kind of visiting and getting to know several elephants. So, it's really, like I mentioned, country specific. For a Greece trip that's going in the spring, they really wanted to visit an olive oil factory. So they're going to go to see an olive tree farm, where they make the olive oil on site, and they're going to learn like ancient techniques of making olive oil. So, what I really like to do is find, besides the cooking stuff that you can find, the city tours, is find country specific. Like, what is this country known for? Okay, let's go find that. In Mexico, go see how mezcal is made. That was fascinating when my husband and I went and saw that several years ago.
That's
So
not family friendly, right?
that
That's
one's not,
adult.
yeah, kids can watch, just not taste. Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, closer to home, since this is a Redmond community website, and I
Yeah.
know you know a lot about the area. Tell me some of the things you love about Redmond, right in our own
Okay.
backyard.
Yes. Well, always what comes to mind first is Marymore Park. I love Marymore Park. My family uses it for so many different, I walk my dog there. I go to the dog park. Both my kids grew up playing soccer at all of those fields there. So I love that the trail goes right through there. It's a good pit stop when we're going on like family bike rides. And the playground is fantastic. When my kids were younger, we would take them there for the afternoon. So hands down, first place I think of is always Marymore Park. As far as eating, we really like husband and I date night, Matador,
Love Matador. They
some
have
of the best
such good
margaritas I've
food
ever
there.
had. Such good food. Yes. Um, and like with the family, we really like Tipsy Cow, some of the best burgers, best shakes. And then actually there's a little bakery that it's, the name of it is escaping me, but it's like this little hole in the wall. They have the best cookies, pastries. I'll try and remember it, and I'll
All
send
right,
you
we're
the
gonna
name of
have to
that.
get that and we'll
Yeah.
post it online later.
Post
That
it
would
with
be great.
yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And like some of the you're just reminding me with Matador, and in that downtown area, you go out to dinner, there's so much to explore right down there. There's the half price books. You can go to,
Totally.
Molly Moon and have some ice cream afterwards. Yeah, it's just a great area to wander and explore. So yeah, I love that too.
Yeah.
All right, so what do you do when you're not planning people's vacations?
Well, so we do our own vacations, of course. Personally, what I like to do in my free time, I do a lot of yoga. That's kind of like my mind body release. That's how I, let the tension go. I take my dog for walks. I'm an avid reader. And then as a family, we like to go explore places. We usually at least once a month try and have a family Sunday. So we'll go somewhere new where we haven't been around here, or we'll go visit places that we know and love. Like, for example, probably next Sunday we'll be going down to Pike Place Market to see all the Christmas lights. So yeah, like we've mentioned, like the common theme of this conversation, there's so much to do right in our state. You don't have to travel far to see amazing things.
Yeah. And I love the idea of having like a family Sunday where you just go for an outing.
Yeah.
There are so many great places around the region to explore. And, our weather is pretty temperate. So it's not like, when I lived in New York, sometimes it'd be like, okay, it's too cold. We're not going out today. Or it's too hot. We're not going out today. But, we really in Washington State, we can just explore and really enjoy some family time, whether it's going up to the Tulip Festival or, down to over to Issaquah for salmon days, or Redmond for some of the activities that they have around Christmas time and stuff. It's just great. So, well, that's awesome, Miss
Yeah.
Kelly. I think we're going to have to go to like Matador for a lunch or something and
Oh,
just
yeah,
keep chatting. We've got some
absolutely.
like book stuff to talk about and all kinds of things. So I so appreciate you spending some time with us, and your contact information and everything will be on the website on the business directory so people can get in touch with you directly and plan a vacation, whether it's near or far. And everybody stay tuned. We're going to have more interviews and more information about things going on in Redmond. So I'm really glad that you all turned in today, and we will catch you soon. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Kate. This is fun.
Thanks so much, Kelly.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.